Nice! Hit!
Full toss. If they had a fielder standing where we are, the ball would drop straight into his rabbit skin bag. Now, I'd say that was also a very curious event.
Where's the ball?
I don't know. It probably rolled off somewhere. Over there, I expect.
Why didn't you tell him you caught the ball in your bag?
I don't know. I just got the feeling it might come in useful. Why are you dodging about trying to peer behind the sight screen?
That's the other thing I was going to tell you. Neither you nor the crowd have noticed what is parked behind the sight screen. I think it might be an S.E.P. Can you see it?
A what?
An S.E.P., somebody else's problem.
Oh, good. I can relax then.
Not till you tell me if you can see it.
You said that was somebody else's problem.
That's right, and I want to know if you can see it.
What does it look like?
How should I know, you fool? If you can see it, you tell me.
Ford, I insist that I am not being stupid. You really are gibbering away without any regard for logic or the normal conventions of human discourse, and, all right, I know you're not human, but while you're on what is, after all, my planet, where humans come from, I think you might at least try to...
Arthur, it's perfectly simple. An S.E.P. is something that we can't see or don't see or our brain doesn't let us see because we think that it's somebody else's problem. That's what S.E.P. means. Somebody else's problem. The brain just edits it out. It's like a blind spot. Your only hope is to catch it by surprise out of the corner of your eye.
Oh. I can see it. It's a spaceship.
What?
Just a spaceship. Parked behind the sight screen.
Great walloping Zarquam!
What an utterly extraordinary looking thing, though. Strange that I couldn't see it.
Sometimes it's much cheaper and easier to make people think that something works rather than actually make it work. After all, the result is, in all important aspects, the same. The extraordinary looking spaceship was not actually invisible or anything hyper-impossible like that. The technology involved in making something properly invisible is so mind-bogglingly complex that 999,999,999 times out of a billion, it's simpler just to take the thing away and hide it. For instance, the ultra-famous sciento-magician Ephrafax of Wug once bet his life that given a year, he could render the great mega-mounted Magramal entirely invisible. Having spent most of the year fruitlessly jiggling around with immense Luxo valves and refracto nullifiers and spectrum bypassomats, he finally realized, with 9 hours to go, that he wasn't going to make it.
I can still see it.
So he and his friends, and his friends' friends, and his friends' friends' friends, and some friends of theirs who happen to own a major stellar trucking company, put in what is now recognized as being one of the hardest nights' work in history. And sure enough, Magramal was no longer visible. He lost the bet, and therefore his life, because he was unable to A, just say abracadabra and put it back, and B, account for the suspicious-looking extra moon overhead. The somebody else's problem field is much simpler, more effective, and can be run for over 100 years on a 9-volt battery. This is because it relies on people's natural predisposition not to see anything they don't want to, weren't expecting, or can't explain. If Ephrafax had, instead of trying to render Magramal invisible, merely rendered it pink, and then erected a cheap somebody else's problem field around it, then people would have walked past the mountain, round it, even over it, and simply never noticed that the thing was there. Meanwhile, events of universe-shaking magnitude are gathering to a climax.